Welcome to another edition of the Flex Rental Solutions how-to videos. Today we're going to be going over the ability to auto-include notes when adding line items to a quote. Previously in the system, when you dragged in a line item, you could add notes as an example. So for this Avid D-Show digital audio mixing console, we may want to add a note saying this item comes configured with 48 inputs and 16 outputs for mixing audio for a concert. Now, if we'd like that note to automatically be included whenever we drag that item in, first I'm going to delete that selected line item. I'm going to open up the D-Show, hit Edit Inventory Item, add that note, and hit Update. Now, when we drag this line item in, it will automatically appear. Once these notes get added as the line item, they are end user modifiable, meaning I can take whatever came in here and modify it. So I could override that and say it comes with 8 outputs. Now, when we generate this PDF, depending on the note mute setting, it will print it out or not. So another question that was asked in the webinar was, can these line items include hyperlinks? So as an example, if this had a hyperlink to say a PDF that you stored somewhere else or was on a end user or a manufacturer's website, you could include that link right there. Depending on how your PDF renderer works, I use a Mac, and if I use preview to view it, it turns links automatically into hyperlinks. So it takes this http://yahoo.com and turns that into this link and opens it up automatically. So you can also use hyperlinks as text, and as long as your PDF viewer supports that, those will be automatically links that you can use in there. So the next question is, should these notes be viewed by the client, by the warehouse? And there are settings for that. And there are 2 settings that take precedence on here. The first is under Projects, Project Elements. We're going to open up our quote element. And under the accounting options, there is an auto note mute yes or no. This is a global setting that should all the note line items be auto note muted accordingly. With that set to yes, it means that for the end customer, by default, all notes will be note muted and will not be printed on the PDF. They are basically meant purely for the warehouse by default. If it's set to no, you'll be able to view all notes and print all notes to the end customer. Secondly, if we were to open up this D-Show, hit Edit Inventory Item, you'll see that there is also a note mute by default, yes or no, per the item. Again, note mute set to no means the end customer will see it and the warehouse will see it. Note mute by default set to yes will say by default this line item note should only appear for the warehouse and will be note muted when we print out the PDF. So if you want to always see notes for the client when you print the PDF, you would have note mute by default set to no on each one of these line items, which is the case. And under the projects, project elements, quotes, accounting options, note mute by default, auto note mute should be set to no. If note mute is set to yes on either the line item or on the project element, then those items will be note muted. So any yes in either of those will automatically include a line mute. or a note mute. So if I change this to no to yes, and re-add this line item, there's the note. It is note muted, so when we generate the PDF, now the customer will not see it. When we generate the PDF for the pull sheet, they will see that. If you have any questions regarding this functionality, please contact support@flexrentalsolutions.com. Thanks. Bye-bye.